I was driving this Audi S5 for the last couple of days, but we're getting a bit of an upgrade to the Lamborghini Urus SE, the latest super SUV from the Italian brand, which is now a hybrid. So this one is green in more than one way. This should be quite a good time. You get the Lamborghini puddle lamp down there, the matching green interior. Oh yes. All right. Flip up the red start-stop cover, and that's on. It's a hybrid, so it starts in EV mode. But that's no fun. There's a cold start. The rumble of that twin-turbo V8. Start driving, pull a paddle into first gear, and we're actually leaving in electric mode. Well, this is electric golf cart mode in the Lamborghini Urus SE. I think every Lamborghini is now hybridized. Revuelto, Temerario, and this Urus SE. You know, of all the generated EV spaceship noises, this sounds the most aggressive, angry Lamborghini. Less ethereal, more ominous grumbling, but still spaceship noise sounding because it's obviously generated. We start our time off in the Urus at night. It's dark and unfortunately rainy tonight in Los Angeles, so the car is not going to stay clean. It definitely will get dirty. I am currently heading to my hotel for the night. First couple miles to get familiar with the Urus SE. It has been many years since I've spent time in an Urus. I drove it when it first came out, and now this is essentially, you could view it as the second generation. They did do the Performante, the more hardcore version of it, but this refresh here as the SE and the hybrid powertrain just keeps pushing this thing further and further. The rain is gone. It's a nice sunny day in Southern California, and we are back in the Urus. Went into sport mode, wakes that V8 up, and we get to merge on the freeway, which means let's feel all 789 horsepower. Also, this is a very appropriate interior with the bright green accents across the entire dash, the Lamborghini logo matching the exterior very nicely, the green Lamborghini logo on the seat back, of course tons of hexagons everywhere. That is the Lamborghini theme. Like, take a look at this. If I go back home, even the tiles here on the infotainment screen are hexagons, right? Lamborghini's favorite shape is a hexagon. Ooh, some burbles. That's pretty rapid. Oh. Lots of burbles. This thing may be a hybrid, but it's one of those things. It's hybrid for performance, torque fill. Yeah, there's the all-electric range, which is genuinely usable, but I can't think of anybody who buys a car like this and wants the hybrid to like save fuel. All right, there are some cities now where you can only drive in electric mode in Europe, right? If you're in the city center, you can't have a gas engine on. So a lot of manufacturers are moving to these plug-in hybrids, which have enough range for you to get into town and then back home. And once you're on the other roads, you can drive with your engine on. But here, I really don't think somebody buying a $300,000+ SUV really cares about their MPGs. We're in electric mode. You can see the RPMs are 0, and that blue line is showing the E-motor. But if I ask for any more power, the engine kicks on. It can only do so much to contribute. A thing with these plug-in hybrids is the power numbers get really staggering, but because of the weight of the battery pack, the electric motor, curb weight also goes up. So it's like a trade-off. Like the new M5, crazy, it's over 700 horsepower. This thing is 789 horsepower. You're like, oh my gosh, these are sedans and SUVs pushing deep into supercar power levels, but then the curb weight goes up by multiple hundreds of pounds. And in the M5, it's definitely noticeable. And this one, we'll see how I feel when I get into the curvy mountain roads. It was already a bigger, taller center of gravity, heavier SUV, but it's a pretty substantial increase in weight, and weight is always the penalty, or weight is always the enemy when it comes to handling dynamics, everything you want from a driver-focused vehicle. We have found ourselves in a parking structure. Must behave. Okay, that sounds pretty good. That is parked. All right, enough being a child. I am gonna go get some food. Highway spots. That's a cool Spec 48 Spider, and he is gone. Those non-resale red, blue with gold wheels. Oh, he is very, very much gone. Also, look at that old G-Wagon. All right, I'm pretty impressed. This is very much usable in all-electric mode. Definitely usable all-electric range. And I've been going in between residential areas, right? Being a very, very friendly citizen, not waking up all the people sleeping on the Saturday morning in their homes, so. Griffin, are you enjoying your environmentally friendly Lamborghini experience?
Man, if I was blind, I would think we're in a Prius.
We're a Tesla or something.
Yeah,
I mean,
a Tesla.
This is kind of crazy. Okay, that's the auto when it's out of cold start. Dude, that sounds good. That's like, this sounds pretty dang good. I feel like, yeah, give it a couple reps. Nothing too crazy because the engine's still cold. V8s are good. Oh, so going into Corsa actually changes the accent color here in the main screen. If I go back into regular, it's like a more calming blue. But you know, Corsa means angry red everything. Here's a fun feature you might not know about. With the key fob, I can open and close all the windows. If I press and hold the unlock button for a couple seconds, all of the windows will go down to air out the interior. Maybe you forgot to close all the windows when you're leaving. You don't want to get back in the car. Press and hold the lock button, hold it for a couple seconds, and all the windows will go back up. It's a global windows up and down using the key fob, which is a nice fun feature. Trunk release buttons hidden right in here above the Lamborghini logo for the open and close. Organizing some camera gear, doing some filming out today up in the mountains. The tires are definitely letting me down a little bit. I'm a little bit disappointed these are all seasons, not full summer tires, because the level of grip is not quite up to par. The tires start kind of screaming their complaints as you're going through some of these curvy turns up in the mountains. But this thing looks the part. I mean, this color under the sun, oh. Verde Selvins, a $13,000 something paint option. Even the bugs like it. It's very, very, very bright, and the metallic flake is pretty cool. The looks are definitely growing on me. Initially, I was like, I don't love the styling. I think the previous Urus looked just a bit more aggressive. This one seems a little more toned down. I didn't love that crease down the middle. The design line also goes on the rear end, but minus the wheels, this thing is still pretty cool. It is properly Lamborghini looking. Also, I can't believe this is work for me. I've spent the day up in the mountains with the Urus, driving and filming, just enjoying the car, enjoying the mountains, the scenery, the roads, and I try to sound somewhat intelligent about the car, and that's my job now. So it's definitely a lot of fun when it's an epic, epic car like this thing. I am very, very lucky. Let me take you on a tour of the SE before the sun sets. So this paint color is called Verde Selvins. It's a $13,000 something paint option, which I know is a lot of money, but it looks spectacular. A ton of metallic flake. You can kind of see it there as the sun is setting, and it really fits a vehicle of this character. I always say that supercars should look like Skittles, and this is a super SUV. Lamborghini should be bright, loud colors, and this metallic green is pretty spectacular. $13,000 something. Now, in terms of styling, they have tweaked the SE. There's changes compared to the first generation Urus. The frontal area has been restyled for better airflow cooling, but to my eyes, it looks a little less aggressive. It's not quite as angry and in your face. They seem to have toned it down a little bit. The DRLs are something that's been redesigned. So I've got this new shape here, and that shape is actually inspired by the tail of the bull on the Lamborghini logo. See, it kind of goes like shoo, back there, the tail itself, and you kind of have that shape right there. So that's been an update, and it just doesn't look quite as aggressive to me, but in this green is still pretty awesome. Now, we have to address the fact that those wheels just don't look that good on this car. So I double-checked the window sticker. These are not the factory wheels. This should have come on 23-inch gloss black wheels, which looks way better. These are base 21-inch wheels. I'm not quite sure why this car is currently on these base wheels. I mean, you can't go any smaller than these 21-inch wheels because take a look at the size of those carbon ceramic brakes. Those are 17.3-inch front brake rotors. They're massive. Anything smaller, you would not clear them. Something may have happened to the stock wheels on this press car, and they had to swap them to this set. So yeah, it does not look the part. You need the bigger wheels for a car like this. And it's like, this is a high sticker car. This thing has been optioned to like $345,000, almost $350,000. So it's not like they checked all the other boxes and just didn't put cool wheels on it. But anyways, enough about the wheels and tires. You get lots of angles and slashes and everything. Very typical Lamborghini, and it really helps show off the paint because you get all these different facets for the light to hit it. Some little Italian flag accents, lots of hexagons. Lamborghini loves their hexagons and they love their Ys. So we're gonna see a lot of hexagons and a lot of Ys all over this thing. You get an Urus SE badge back here, and then this side is the fuel door. We have a vent here, and then they've redesigned the rear also. So we've got the Y-shaped taillights, very Lamborghini, and this hexagonal mesh kind of grill looking thing. It's not actually a grill because it's filled in, but that took design inspiration from the Lamborghini Gallardo. Do you remember like the LP560? They had that big black hexagonal mesh thing across the rear end. So that is an update. And then there's this like center crease line across the entire car. So it kind of angles out from that point. So that's a change in look. I actually kind of like, this is growing on me, this black mesh piece across the big Lamborghini badge there, right, is how you, this is how you open the trunk. Got a little spoiler here, another spoiler there, carbon roof with a big Y pattern across it. And then you have the very sporty roof line that comes back. Really aggressive hips accented right there. And then we have quad exhaust tips finished in matte black, the blacked out diffuser area, and it's an overall just mild refresh to the styling. Right here is the charging door, so that's where you'd plug it in to charge your hybrid Urus SE. On the inside, it is very appropriately Lamborghini. We have tons of green accents and green stitching that nicely match the exterior. We have the hexagon green stitching here on the seats, the green accents, the green seat belts, the green stitching Lamborghini logo on the headrests. We also have massage heated and cooled seats, more Lamborghini script accents, and then the Bang & Olufsen speakers have the little 3-pointed Y thing. Same thing on the pedals, the brake pedals, the dead pedal, the gas pedal. So you see hexagons and a little Y shape. Very, very Lamborghini. More green cross stitching. This is to open the fuel door. Hybrids typically have this to open the fuel door. You can't just open it up. I think it has to do with like discharging the hybrid system and safety, right? That's for the trunk. You have memory seats and then carbon accents, and this green leather accenting is actually really, really cool. What has it been like to live with this week? Well, I like it quite a lot. Of course, it's a $350,000, nearly 800 horsepower Lamborghini super SUV. But you know what actually really stood out to me is the duality of the personality. That kind of rhymes. The fact that it can go from being angry, aggressive monster to, if I want to go into street mode, Strada, everything calms down. It's much more civilized, restrained, and there is an appeal to that as a vehicle that you can daily drive, do a little bit of everything with. The fact that it's a plug-in hybrid I actually found very, very interesting. It gives you more flexibility of use case, right? I said at the very beginning that people buying this don't care about like fuel prices, and I hope not. It's a $350,000 SUV Lamborghini, right? But it can be kind of cool to have that flexibility, the options. Leaving home in all-electric mode if I want to be a friendly neighbor and not cold start this thing in the morning because it is very, very loud. I was getting, when I had a full tank of electrons at the beginning of the week, like mid-20s MPG, which is pretty good. And again, fuel prices probably aren't a big consideration, but not having to go to the pump as often could be nice if you're just commuting regularly. And I haven't plugged this in quite yet, but during normal driving, because it has the ability to recharge on the go, I've still been hovering around a little under half of a tank of gas, or half of a tank of electrons, sorry. This side is the gas, this side is the electricity. So we can recharge on the go, and now, because I'm stuck behind some slower moving cars, in street mode, very, very civilized. This is a do everything super SUV, and if you want to go have some fun, this thing is seriously quick, loud, it gets the attention. I mean, it has the looks. It helps that it's bright, bright green, a properly appropriate Lamborghini color. but it definitely will turn heads. Very appropriate. Oh, yay! Everybody is turning left, and I am going right. And it has enough compliance that up on these very, very bumpy mountain roads, it's still totally fine. Now, in Corsa mode, it definitely firms up quite a bit. And this thing it's really, really fast. Like, they hybridized it, and it did gain weight, but it's not like it was some lightweight thing initially. So, yeah, it's heavier, but power-to-weight ratio was better than Urus S. It's got all of the tech fancy features to distribute power where you want it. Active anti-roll bars. The electric motor throws in the torque when it needs to. Massive carbon ceramic brakes. Right now, what's letting me down are the tires. Yeah, you can hear them screaming. These are not the right tires for this car. On this road, we need proper sticky summer tires. But the fact that you can do this up in the canyons in a car like this, in an SUV like this, it's pretty remarkable. It absolutely, without a doubt, deserves a Lamborghini badge in my mind. They've evolved, and Lamborghini, remember, has history of building cars that are not only two-door supercars. LM002, right? Now, this is not really a spiritual successor. That was like a military bare bones like truck. This is your luxury super SUV, but that's very much in the taste of today's current buyers around this segment. But if Lamborghini ever did a true, like, more rugged off-road one, I'd be for it. I think that'd be cool. A more direct successor. Look at everybody who drives G-Wagons. Do they actually care about the origin and history and capabilities and use case of a G-Wagon? Probably not. But I can actually see that doing well. Body on frame Lambo truck. One thing I don't love is the synthesized sounds. You can absolutely tell at certain RPMs the augmentation. It sounds just a little bit, right there. A little bit too synthesized through the speakers. That's not intake noise, and that's not the exhaust, because I can hear the exhaust rumble and burbles and pops further back. Oh, this thing is... It is fun, it is fast. And then it comes down to the dilemma. Would you daily drive one of these? Would you go for the Bentley Bentayga? Are you going for a Rolls-Royce Cullinan? Do you want a GLS Maybach? Do you want ultra luxury? Do you want super sporty? You now have a couple more options. The Aston Martin DBX 707 or the S. They added another more aggressive version. Ferrari has the Purosangue. They are unique in that they have a naturally aspirated V12, but it also is smaller than this thing. And Ferrari doesn't want you to call it an SUV. They want you to call it a Ferrari utility vehicle because, well, Ferrari. You have the platform siblings with the Cayenne Turbo E Hybrid or even a Cayenne Turbo GT. But you have a lot of money, you love Lamborghini, and you want to have a friend in the garage for your Huracan, your Aventador, your Vuelto, the Urus SE. Can give you some of that Lambo spice on a daily basis. Just get the summer tires, though. I do not like these tires right now on this car.
Well, that's concerning. Why does it think I'm in Africa? That is definitely not where I am. This is California. What?
Even though this is a hybrid, we are still burning plenty of gas, miles per gallon. You have to release the fuel door, and we'll put a couple gallons in. Oh, that's kind of fun. The cap has the Urus lettering on it and a bunch of little Lamborghini Ys. Gotta keep everything themed. Although, you know what's even nicer is not having a fuel filler cap. That is something that always bugs me in California. You're paying all that money for 91. Don't even get 93. We're not even getting full power here. Why is gas station lighting always so good? Take a look at that carbon roof and this paint under the gas station lighting. Ooh, it looks very, very good. We'll ignore the wheels. But yeah, proper Lamborghini color. Verde Selvins. You also get the Lamborghini logo puddle lamp, which is really cool. Also, we just realized that's 3D printed. You can kind of see that texture. It's additive manufacturing. That's kind of cool. This thing is able to cruise in all electric mode pretty well. It'll do up to 87 miles an hour. After that, if you want to go any faster, the engine kicks on, but this is very much usable on the freeway in all electric mode. And earlier we were driving in recharge mode for the hybrid system, and it actually filled up the battery quite a bit for about 15-20 minutes of driving. It was over half of the battery range. So you can either do that while driving, or you could just plug it in overnight and have very much usable all-electric range in your Urus. Here's the window sticker to the Urus, and yes, a lot of the prices are crazy. Base price $258, and option up we are at $346 something. But I want to show you some of the specificity of the options pricing, right? Usually they round to the nearest 100 or 1,000, but no, look, paint. Verde Selvins Pearl is $13,384 because $13,400 is too much and $13,300 is too cheap. Like, they're so specific. The brake calipers, $1,314. See, 23-inch black wheels, $5,837. Interior matte carbon package, $87.92. Man, some of these options are absolutely crazy price, but I just find it very amusing that they're so specific. The valve caps are $189. What? But I have really enjoyed my time with the Lamborghini Urus SE. It is very expensive, but it's also really fast, really loud, really fun. It does everything really well. It's got this dual personality where you can go into luxurious, quiet, calm, daily driver mode with massage seats, a good sound system, but then you toggle into sport or Corsa and it becomes a bit more unhinged. It is properly ballistically fast and absolutely, in my opinion, delivers the Lamborghini experience. It is rapid. Are there some whiffs of Audi? Yes, some of the buttons and screens and sounds, but I don't mind that actually. It's got enough Lamborghini to make me happy, and it is a ballistically fun, daily drivable super SUV, and the SE plug-in hybrid treatment has just turned up the Urus even more. I'm sure they'll do maybe a sportier version of this, maybe a Performante version that's a bit more hardcore. They seem to like to flesh out the lineup across the different vehicles. That would be pretty cool. Imagine this thing into the mid 800 horsepower range. Sheesh. But there we go. Hope you guys enjoyed this video living with the Lamborghini Urus SE. Check out my full review and the POV drive video. Thanks for watching.